Morning, guys. Right, the deal today, day 4, Monday, the 4th of December, the M4A3E8 Fury. So 17% off. Let's have a look at the package and see exactly where we are. So let's see. There we go. So £17.10 instead of £20.77. 2,500 gold. So let's see what that brings it down to. So including the gold, so 2,500. We are looking. Let's go for any amount of gold. 2,500. £8.51. So that sounds pretty good, actually. So £8.51. Let's go back. Oh, come on. That's it. Take me back. Take me. So £8.51 off. So you're looking about £8.60-ish. So about £8.60. You get a few of these times 5 mission victory things. So £8.50. Is it worth £8.50? So tier 6 tank. Let's have a look at the other vehicles. So other vehicles at the moment, £8.50 for a tier 6. Let's work our way down. £8.50. So we're looking roughly, well, normally these you're looking about £13. So it's about £5 cheaper than the other tier 6s. It's £1 more expensive than the tier 5s, roughly. £1, maybe £2 more expensive. So that it seems like a really good deal. Is it a good tank? I've done a review of it previously, so what I'm going to do is we're going to get straight into a game. So bear with me, I'll load that up. Okay, so we're in. Let's get new mission started. Affirmative, new mission. That's it. Start it now, and right. So we know where we are. Let's call this up. You're going to have a little sleep in the corner, and let's call up the tier 8 mediums. Come on, there we go. Let's just have a look at tier 6. Tier 6 mediums. So there we go. Tier 6 mediums. I'm running 21 tier 6 mediums at the moment. But so 67% win rate with this tank. Let's return the crew and then get into the first battle of the day. Let's return that. Now, view range. Let's see how the standard view range is. There we go, 428 meters. I run Cola, so I get the 428, and in order to, let me just find where my binoculars are. Bear with me a second. Okay, so let's take my binos from there, demount them, back to the tier 6s. There we go. So into the Fury again. And put that on. Now the reason, as you saw, we got 428 meter view range anyway with this setup, and then bumping it up. So basically, it helps it to be a scouting monster. And now the range goes to 535, but it just helps you find hidden, and that's the reason I do that. That setup. Let's swap some of these around. I want to add a little bit more HE. That should do us. So, without further ado, let's get into the first game of the day, and let's see what we can do. So, let's have a look. It's 8:23 in the morning. So, what I want to test out the current environment, see what it's like, see what the tank's like. Get in, use its slight mobility. It's better in a clinch. Other stats are slightly down, but I managed to win 37% of my games so far. So, tier 7 game. We'll try and put that spotting into practice, see what we can do with it. So that should be pretty good. So let's have a look at this. Come on, you know you want to, little thing. Get me into my first. Oh, adjust my chair. There we go. Okay, right. Come on. There we are. Right. It always looks very, very nice. Very, very nice looking tank. So try and do something with the view range. Could move down towards the 1-2 line. Try and spot from there. Use the ridge. Use the turret, the angle and angle. The mobility, the pickup's a little bit slow, but you want to move it a position. So we'll spot for the Jackson. See what we can do, and then potentially move around the battlefield. Well, move around, help the team in different ways. Oops, sorry, my little friend. Try and spot for him. Let's get into a better position. There we go. Wait for the binos to kick in. So we're giving him more vision. Help the TDs and the SU-100Y with his 130mm gun, which would be very good. We've got the SU-122 is right up the front, so I'm going to... Interesting position. Let's get in, so change of plans. Let's get straight in, assist the 122. Yep, well, Stalin's hammer. Great tank. Let's use a bit of cover, come into here, use the pile. Get in, assist him. You can see the T-25 pilot pushing the other way, so we want to balance those guys out. Let's use the mobility of this thing. Bit of zigzagging, try and find their RT. Oh, come on. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's better. Let's move in. So you got a fair amount of mobility, fair amount of spotting, even though the penetration dropped off. Hey, oh, I don't know where that shot went. So let's see what we can do. Move in, help to get round behind the team, potentially push back. See what we can do. Come round the building. VK's in there. Do some more. Assist the team. They're pushing in hard. This is when you got this decision. Do you cap or kill all? Oh, come on. Time not to be here. Repair, repair, repair. Oh, come on, come on. WZ coming in behind. Oh, hell. So, somehow I got a HE. Oh, oh shucks. Oh, hey. That was good fun, though. So, 1,000 points of damage. Let's have a look at the post-game stats, see exactly where we end up. Oh, the 122's done a good job. Yes, Stalin's hammer nails him. Right. Flipped it. The 122 played a... And the... well, the little tier 8 played a blinding job. So, let's see exactly where we are with this. So, another win. How did we do to help our team? Now, in the current environment, let's see. So, second class, 2,500 experience, 40,000 credits, 690 with my spotting. So, let's see where we are. So, third on experience, 1,000 points, 1 kill. Yeah, what's not to like? You know, it's still rock and rolls. So, yeah, I don't know where that shot went, but I used a lot of consumables. Normally, I wouldn't have used so much. I think being in that position, things happen. So, lost 3,000 credits, so you're sort of breaking even. It's not such a great money maker, but it's fun. So, 2,900 experience in total. You know, not bad at all. So, what would I change? As I haven't played it for a while, I would say you saw the bloom was a little bit was quite bad. So what I would do is I would consider it. Let's have a look. Enhanced gunner lane drive. Let's grab an enhanced gunner lane drive. That was an issue. Oh, it was the blinking cola. I forgot about the cola. So let's take that off. That'll make a big difference. So what I'm going to do, let's stick in automatic fire extinguisher. Let's go for game 2. The view range will be lowered, but you saw that. So now 409. We won't be able to see as much as we could, and we've lost the binos, but it'll mean we can get the shots in more easily. So let's get into a second game, see what this is like. So first to win, and so if we lose this second one, the worst we get is a 50-50. But I'm finding that it's winning 2/3 of games for me. So let's see what we can do now with that change. But I've been using it as a sniper, more of a scout, because you end up in tier 8 games and you want to be able to scout. Let's see what it's like with this, where you're trying to do the damage yourself. Would I preferred something that gave me more view range, more of a scouting thing? Yes, and that seems to help when you're in a tier 8 game. You spot, you help, you gain the advantage on your team. Well, now we've just lost that advantage we did. So this is a different sort of map, well, different sort of situation. So let's see what we can do. Let's go down to the centre, push round. How many have we got going this way? None. What? Oh, crumbs. Hey. When there's the lemming train, you've got 2 options. You either go the same way, help them. What? Okay. Right, well, adapt. And see what we can do. If they're all pushing through that way, let's go with them. It is what it is, and you never quite know with World of Tanks. So rather than whinging, you go with it, make the most of it, and take it to them. E25 there, so we want to try and get some shots in on him. Let's get ready for him. So we know we've got the E25. We're pinned down at the moment. They're pushing in the centre. IS-6. I really don't want to be here. So angle slightly. Try to spot them. We're 4 up. Where are they? There we go. He's up there. Can't get a shot in at the moment. Let's try and get into as much of a double bush situation as I can. Because if they turn up there, I will try and nail them. Okay, let's get in. Slight sluggish on in the water. It's sort of an in-between. That's one thing you... Oh, heck. I tried to spot them, tried to move up, tried to assist my buddy, didn't quite work out, but you can do these things. But yeah, I knew they were there, I was worried, but I thought my little AMX buddy needed the assistance, and yeah. Should I have pushed that little bit more, try and come under their guns? Potentially. It is what it is. So we'll have a look at the overalls and see how we did in comparison to the last game. Okay, so captured and killed the enemy at the same time. So let's see exactly what we get. Yeah, killed by an E25, tier 7. You're vulnerable to things like that. You know, OP tank. Anything else? Potentially could I have dealt with him? Yes. So let's see. So still 3rd class, 600 experience, 23,000 credits. And lower down the table. But you know, you're looking tier 8 game in both. Came away with 19,000. So in both games, then you're looking, say, 15,000 a game. So an £8 tank didn't do as much spotting, didn't get as much experience, didn't get as much credits, and I felt a bit out of control. So that's the reason I run the binos in the background. Yes, to be able to brawl and to get in, to be able to use the gun. If it was more often a fairer game, then you would want to get in, you'd want to be using the enhanced gun lane drive, getting those shots in. But I find that even though I won 2 games in a row, I find for me, the way I play it, the mobility isn't quite up to what you want, so you've got to adapt the strategy slightly. So I use the binos to assist my team. Like if I'd been in that position, behind that bush where I was, my usual sort of gameplay, before I pushed in, the binos would have kicked in and I'd have seen those 2 up on the ridge. And that's the difference. I would have been able to pull back, shoot from cover, remain hidden, and use the appropriate ammo, either HE, AP, possibly APCR if that wasn't working to help with the strategy. So that's the reason in the current environment I'm finding that, yeah, I felt out of control without the binos, because I'd lost the top end of my view range. It had now dropped to 409, and you've got no spotting ability in comparison, whereas with the binos and the food, you're over 525. So I'm going to set this back. Let's just demount that. I just wanted to demonstrate what it was like. So let's put it back with the binos, without the food, and you got 511. So it's back to essentially how it was. It'll be cheaper to run than that first game. So 20,000 credits better off. And I use the food to help me to do more. Does it work? Yes, 2/3 of the time it does work, and you end up at least breaking even and making a little bit of money by doing it that way. That's just me. So by helping your team to win, by doing more in it, you can gain more credits overall. Yes, you spend more credits, but so with the changeover, so putting the cola in, you buy them cheap when you can. You saw that first game that we just about, well, we lost 3,000. So you'd want, you're there or thereabouts. So I'd say one game with Cola, one game without, and then you can test out how good it is, and you'd come out ahead. So and you basically you've got a 50-50 chance as to which game you're in with how it runs. Do you want a large repair kit? Yes. So, but you could to help make more money if you're finding that a problem, switch in a small repair kit, and then that'll save you 17,000 credits and put you automatically into a winning situation money-wise, even with running Cola. You get tracked and you're in a worse situation because you can't repair everything, but it's the risks you take. But with the binos, that'll there you go, back up to 535 meters, and you're ready to rock and roll. Yes, I've got a good crew in this. So the Fury, 73% win rate now. So is it a good tank? It's a nice little tank if played the right way, and you've got to work that out. So is this an 8 with a deal? Is this an £8 tank? What else have we got to compare it to? The likes of the Cromwell B. Is it as good as a Cromwell B? No chance whatsoever. The mobility is down. Is it as good as a Thunderbolt? You can't stand there and just take shots. This I've got set up and is more of a brawler. So let's put the crew in this one so I can show you directly what it's like. So 425 meter view range with this setup, and it's ready to rock and roll. So that's adequate for this. With the additional armor, you can come out ahead more often. I like the Thunderbolt. How am I doing with that? Only 50% compared to the 70. So I'm actually winning more with the Fury than I am with the Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt is more in your face. You get in, you brawl. That's why I don't need to brawl so much with the Fury, because I've got the Thunderbolt for doing it. I use this as more of a scout, helping the team to win, getting around the side, using the mobility when you can, but not having that as the primary purpose. The primary purpose is more of a scout, because you end up being, it's still as it was, and I feel it's actually worse with the matchmaker, that you end up being in more tier 8 games. And that's always an issue, because even if you use premium, you're going to find it difficult to penetrate. So you want to be there, giving your team information, find where the enemy are, helping the team shoot them by you spotting, passive damage, gaining the experience, and that's the way I rock and roll with this. And then you get in close, and generally when you're in close, apart from when the shots just disappear like that little artillery piece, I don't know where that shot went, you can still do fine. So it's a combination roll as opposed to straight in your face. If you want more in your face, then you got the Thunderbolt, or more working with the Cromwell B. I'm actually doing better with my Cromwell than I am with the Cromwell B. I know, what's that about? So, but between them, you're looking just slightly ahead of the curve between the Cromwell B and the Cromwell. And my favourite, where's my little German? My little favourite 3001D, 56%. I really love this little tank. So back to the Fury. Is the deal worth it? So let's have a look at that deal. So clicking in. So basically, say £8.50 for the Fury. Is it worth it? You get the gold, which is taking in to bring it to that price. Is it a good little tank? It's an alright little tank, but you need to play it the right way, and you need to learn the methods. Mine works for me, and I hope it can work for you, but I would say a better tank is the Thunderbolt, even though I'm winning less with it. So playing this is more of a scout, and it works. So that's just me, just what I'm doing, and as you see, I'm up over 70% win rate with it. If you don't play it the right way, you'll lose and you'll think it's useless. But if you play it the right way, you can get a 60-70% win rate as well. So, you know, it is what it is. And for £8, it's alright. It's not a great tank. It's, mind you, 70% win rate. If you play it the right way, it can be. You need to know what the characteristics are. It's not an in-your-face brawler, and especially in the current meta where you hit a lot of tier 8s, you need that additional view range. Even if you find the E25s and things like that, with the view range, I'm sure I would have had more chance of spotting them up on the ridge, directing fire, or using HE against him. I'd just flip straight to HE against him if I was thinking straight, because I'd have had time to pull back rather than being spotted and under pressure. You've got time to think, choose the right ammo type, I'd have used HE on the E25, shot him from range, used the HE to go straight through the forehead of his the front plate, through his forehead, and just taking him to pieces that way with HE, doing more damage, and just straight in and taking him out. We won anyway, but not because of having the additional mobility. The additional mobility, having the binos allowing you to scout and spot, would have helped me to win and do more points and get more overall. So that's the way I play it, and it works for me. But it's a strategy you've got to learn. There are better tanks, but it's an okay one, and it's a nice tank to have in your garage. But for me, I've got them all, so pretty much. So that's where you're at with this. The deal, it is a good deal. It is a good deal. It's slightly more. You get more for the tank, but everyone says it's a rubbish tank. But as you've seen, you can do fine with it. You play it the right way, you can do very, very well with it if you use it for its characteristics. It's not the most mobile around the battlefield. It hasn't got the best armor. The gun's a little bit iffy, but you can use the view range and do something else with it that other people maybe won't. And if you like that sort of playstyle, then this could be the tank for you to help you as a relatively good price as a little crew grinder to move your crew up, help them gain the experience. Then that's a very useful thing for really not a lot of money. So the Fury, all I can say, I've got to say, I want to say it's all right, and the deal is an okay deal, but the stats and the way I get wins with it, playing it like I do, say if you're only getting 60% win rate, you're above the curve. So I've got to say that if played the right way, the tank can come out very, very neatly. So I hope this is okay. I hope it helps you realise it's not your normal sort of brawler. It's not so fast around the battlefield. It's not quite so... It's alright in a clinch if you get in there, but you need to be able to get in, and you find it a bit tricky getting in sometimes, because the mobility isn't up where you want it to be, where other tanks are. Because if you're likening it to the VK3001 and the Cromwell, they've got the mobility, you haven't. Mobility-wise, they can run rings around you, so you've got to use other features, other things other ways to play this, and then you can do really well if you work to its strengths. And its strengths are it's a very nice viewing platform, very good spotter, and okay when you get up close, and then giving you time to make the right decision about the ammo, assisting your team, working for the win, and coming away with the points that way. I hope this helps. So yes, definitely pause up from the bear for the deal. Is it an okay deal? Yeah, it's an okay deal. Does this tank play suit you? It's not your normal brawler. If you want brawling, don't get this tank. But if you're more of a scout, moving around, helping your team, taking advantage of the enemy when you can, then this is the tank for you. I can't say fairer than that. So definitely pause up from the bear. And thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys. Bye, bye, bye.